What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. If you're new here, hello, welcome to the family. Today's video is going to be the very first story time on this channel, and I did a poll on Snapchat between two different stories. I did a poll between, did you guys want to see the story time about the crazy woman in Walmart, or did you guys want to see the story time about, my coming out story and how I came out to everybody? And the woman in Walmart got an overwhelming amount of votes, which shook me. But I mean, I guess because everybody on my Snapchat technically already knows me in real life, then they just kind of already know how the whole coming out thing happened. So I guess maybe when my fan base gets a little bigger and people don't really know me and they want to know that story, then I'll put that video out. But for now, I'm going to be telling the story about the crazy woman that I encountered when I was working at Walmart, and it was absolutely no fun. So, I want to say around March or April, when I was still working at Walmart, I encountered this really crazy woman when I was working in the photo lab. Basically, in the photo lab, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm not sure if every Walmart has a photo lab, so it's where you go to print your pictures out in a Walmart. So you can print them from your phone, or you can bring in copies and like scan them and have them printed, or from a flash drive or an SD card or whatever. You can go and you have your photos printed out so you can make copies of them. And one of the rules in the photo lab with professional photos, like prom pictures or graduation pictures or family pictures that were taken at like Target or somewhere like that, one of the rules is to make sure you have signed copyright consent before you come in and print them. And that is on our copyright policy thing. Like when you turn the machine on, we tap the machine and turn it on, and then the big screen opens up and it tells you like, oh, these are the rights, these are terms and conditions, Read those terms and conditions, you guys, because that is definitely listed in the terms and conditions, that you do have to have express written consent to make copies of the photos if they're professional photos. And this woman wasn't having it. I'm working in the photo lab one day, and a woman comes to the desk, and she's already been on the kiosk machine. She comes to the desk and she asks for my assistance. And I walk around the counter or whatever, and I go to the kiosk that she's at, and I ask her, what can I help her with, what seems to be the issue, blah, 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 right? The whole formality, whatever. She answers, she says, well, basically, I just need to know how to exactly make copies of this, and like how to go about plugging the phone. Like, she was one of the older women, so she wasn't really too tech savvy. She was like maybe late 30s, early 40s. So she wasn't really too tech savvy. So I helped her plug her phone in and everything like that. And then I ended up getting a glimpse of the photo on her phone. And you know how you can just tell a photo is professional, like the little logo is right there. I saw that, and then I saw the background, the classic like blue background. They were graduation photos. It was around graduation time. One of the duties as an associate in the photo lab is to ask if they have copyright forms when you see professional photos, if they're trying to make copies of them. Make sure you ask them if they have a copyright form. And so, of course, that's what I did. I said, ma'am, these are professional photos. Our policy, store policy, company policy states that you do have to have express copyright consent before you can print these photos out, or before you can make copies of the photos in our store. And I was like, so do you have a copyright form with you that I can make a copy of really quick? And then she immediately, like, she was being really nice before. I was being really nice to her, didn't give her a single reason to flip on me, and immediately she goes into defense mode. Well, why the hell do I have to have a copyright form for a picture that I paid for, and da-da-da-da-da? So I was just like, ma'am, it's just, it's store policy, it's legal policy. Like, that's not even just Walmart, that's the law. You have to have copyright form. Like, you can go to prison. And so I was like, but it is really easy to obtain. All you have to do is call in, ask them to send you an email of the copyright form, print the form off, and bring it in the store. That is literally, they don't make you pull teeth for it, because at the end of the day, you did pay for those pictures. So you are at liberty to make as many copies as you want. So that's what I told her. I told her, this is what you're supposed to do, right? And she again gets really angry with me, and it's like, why? She's oh, well, these are my photos, and I'm just gonna print them however I want to, and I can print whatever I want to. This is my phone, these are my photos, And I was like, okay, you can print them, but we're not going to sell them to you because the photos they print behind the photo lab counter. And I was like, okay, well, you can go ahead and print them, but we're not selling them to you. We cannot sell you those photos until you have a copyright for them. And then she was like, well, what if I just walk behind the counter and grab it? I said, we're not going to allow you to do that. Like, you can't do that. That's just against store policy. Like, we're not going to allow you to do that. We're going to have you escorted off the property. You just won't be able to return to this Walmart. She's like, okay, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. She said, where's your manager? And so, of course, I was like, okay, cool. I'll go get the manager for you. Because I literally, like, if you guys have ever, if you ever go to a Walmart, or I don't work at Walmart anymore, but if you were to ever go to a Walmart and you saw me working, like, you know that I was never hesitant to call a manager. I don't care if I was in the wrong or not. Like, you want to talk to a manager? Okay, that's fine. I'll tell them the same exact thing. But in this instance, I was not in the wrong. That is store policy. So I went on the phone and I said, listen, I need a manager to the photo lab immediately. And my favorite manager, and he comes around the corner. His name's Ben. Comes around the corner and he's like, what seems to be the problem? What's going on? Yada, yada, yada. I was like, I'll let her explain it so that, I don't twist her words or anything like that. And so she starts to explain. And she's explaining, and then she lied on me, y'all. This is when the switch flipped. Like, I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care about this job. One thing I really, like, is a pet peeve of mine. Even if I know I'm telling the truth and everybody in the room witnessed it and they know I'm telling the truth and the person is lying on me, that bothers me. So I'm just like, no, you're not about to sit up here and lie on me. So she starts lying. She says, well, he said if I take a picture of it on my phone and just print it off on the instant machine, then I can just make a copy. And I said, who said that? Like, I was like, who said that? Like, no, why are you lying? I said, no, that's one thing you're not gonna do is put words in my mouth. I did not tell you that. Let's not lie right now, okay? If you're gonna lie, if you're gonna be here raising some cane, you might as well do it with a little bit of dignity, if you have that. And so I'm like, you're not about to lie on me. Do not put words in my mouth. And I guess she thinks that I'm coming at her, even though I kind of am, like, coming at her because my voice is starting to raise and I am starting to, like, head bob and this and that and whatever, get kind of a little ratchet or whatever. And another thing, that was not my day. I was not having the best day at all. I was not having the best day that day. So one little thing could have just triggered me, and it did. I guess she starts to go into defense mode yet again, or even more defense mode, because she's already on 10. So I guess she decided, hey, let me kick it up if you're not just to a good 12, 13. And so she gets in my face. She starts to approach me, y'all. This lady started to approach me. She started walking up on me, and I was like, oh, you're not finna get in my face. Literally, that's what I said to her. I said, oh, you're not about to get in my face. I said, please don't. And so my good sis, my good coworker, walks up behind me, and she, like, grabs my arm, because I'm not getting in her face. I'm not, like, doing this in her face. I'm not putting my hand in her face. I'm real calm. Oh, you're not about to get it. Well, calm as I can be in the situation, right? I was like, you're not about to just get in my face. You're not about to get in my face. And the manager turned around and he was looking at me. He said, hey. And then my coworker grabbed my arm and she pulled me over to the photo lab, and she's just like, no, it's not even worth it. So I was like, okay, cool, that's it. Like, I just stayed over behind the desk for a while. I stayed over there for like 10 minutes because she sat there arguing with the manager the entire time, trying to get him to help or let her print the photos off. And oh, well, that's just a stupid policy. And every time I come to this Walmart, I have an issue. It's always at this Walmart, running her mouth. And it's like, at this point, I was like, okay, this lady is really reaching. Like, nobody's about to let her print these photos off, because if you get arrested for it, you are not going to hesitate to say, I printed them at the Walmart over in wherever, because I'm not going to say where the Walmart was on camera, but, oh, I printed them at that Walmart, And so the cops are going to come over there, and they're going to be like, okay, well, these photos were printed on this date. These people were working between these hours. Who are they? Because we are about to take them to jail. Like, no, nobody's about to sit there and let you print off these illegal photos. So, of course, she walked away, but she was still shopping. She was not done shopping. She walked away. She walked over to the electronics department, which is where I worked. I really worked in electronics, but I knew electronics. I knew photo lab. I knew a little bit of site to store. I knew how to work the cash registers up front. I knew a little bit of toys. I knew a little bit of a lot of departments, right? So I found myself sometimes helping out in other departments. So photo lab and electronics, they're basically like the same department technically. We have the same department manager and everything's like together. So yeah, like it just worked out a little bit better. But yeah, She went over to electronics where I normally work in, and I did not see her walk over to electronics because when she walked off, my manager came behind the counter. He was like, listen, like next time something like that happens, you know, the best thing for you to do is to avoid the customer completely when they start getting irate with you. You were arguing back and forth with her. Like, you know, I understand I used to be an associate too. I have not always been a manager at Walmart. I understand where it can get kind of tough to just sit there and let them degrade you like that, and talk to you any kind of way. He said, I understand, but let's not let that happen again. So I was like, okay, cool. And that's basically what he said in a nutshell. But that conversation happened over the course of maybe like 5 minutes. So she was not done shopping, so she went over to electronics. And so after my manager walked away, and you know, my coworker was talking to me, and she was like, listen, like, you know, basically reiterating what he was saying, and then kind of backing me. Oh, you were right, you were 100% right. You know how you do when you if you've worked retail, you know how you get a crazy customer, and when the customer leaves, you start talking about what the customer did and they think this is that. You know, that's kind of how it was. So then I went back over to my department, and I saw her there again, and I was like, listen, I'm not about to, no, I'm just gonna avoid her. Like my manager told me, I'm gonna avoid her. I'm not going to look at her. I'm not gonna talk to her. I'm not gonna speak to her, nothing. Nope. Next. She need help. Oh, I found somebody to help you. I'm not helping her. So I was in my department doing whatever I had to do, and she comes up behind me and she said, y'all, I shit you not. This lady said to me, she said, just know I will be working around the clock to make sure that you do not have the privilege of working here anymore. I said, excuse me, you didn't get me this job, so you can't take the job from me. Like, I was literally about to start arguing with this lady, but I was like, who are you? Like, you don't have, who made you think that you have the power to take my job from me? I said, if I leave Walmart, I'm leaving on my terms. You don't have the power to get rid of my job, but that's cute, that's cute. She said, you guys, and when she said you guys, she meant black people. You guys are just ridiculous. Everywhere I go, you guys are causing issues. Da 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 da. And she was saying you guys, but she was saying black people. And then she like walked off. And I was like, did this bitch really just have the nerve to come at me the way that she did? Like, she really was. And like, when I left some parts out, but she was getting through doing all this, putting her hands in my face and doing this, and she was touching on me, and y'all, she was really in my personal space, and she was asking for a good wop, but I don't do that. Not anymore. Anyway, yeah, like, that was that. That was the story of the crazy woman that I encountered at Walmart. It was a short story, but it was pretty juicy. So I figured, why not? And also it won the poll on Snapchat, which, by the way, if you don't have my social media, all that will be linked in the description below. My Instagram, my Snapchat, and my Twitter. I have a Facebook, but I don't use it, so linking it is literally pointless. But yeah, all that will be in the description box below. Get in there, get active, you know. But yeah, I do a lot of my polls and like questions for my YouTube channel and updates for my YouTube channel and everything like that on social media. So that would be a really good cool thing for you guys to do, is just kind of follow me on there, or even if you don't follow me, just kind of keep up with it, you know. So yes, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you're new here, welcome. Don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button down below. I promise it is free. Next video, you guys let me know what you guys want to see for my next video, because I'm almost literally, like, I have a lot of video ideas in my head, but a lot of those videos, I don't know. So just let me know what you guys want to see next, and I will definitely get on it. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.